We've seen a lot of excitement with ImmunityBio stock recently, as we can see here, with the stock up almost 300% over the last 6 months. And there are a number of revenue and regulatory catalysts coming up with this stock over the coming year too. We had 2 accelerated approvals in Saudi Arabia as the Saudi FDA grants accelerated approval to ImmunityBio's ANKTIVA for non-muscle invasive bladder cancer with carcinoma in situ, which corresponds to the treatment right here that you can see. And then Saudi FDA grants accelerated approval to ImmunityBio's ANKTIVA for another indication, this time in combination with checkpoint inhibitors for metastatic non-small cell lung cancer, which again corresponds to this treatment right here in their pipeline that you can see. And so since these 2 approvals in Saudi Arabia, ImmunityBio are moving rapidly in order to bring these 2 treatments to market. ImmunityBio partners with Biopharma and Sagala Healthcare to launch ANKTIVA in Saudi Arabia for bladder and lung cancer patients. Biopharma and Sagala are 2 of the largest pharmaceutical commercial distributors in the Middle East and North Africa. And the huge news is that ANKTIVA will be available for distribution within the next 60 days. And so bringing these treatments to market in 60 days demonstrates how aggressive ImmunityBio are in terms of really getting revenue for their products as quickly as possible, and we should be able to see indications of revenue generation potentially as soon as Q2 2026. On top of that, ImmunityBio have initiated discussions with the Saudi FDA and UAE regulatory authorities to expand ANKTIVA indications beyond lung and bladder cancer too. And this has the potential to open up the treatment to new patient populations that we can see in their pipeline that they're working on at the moment. When they mention this statement of initiating discussions with the FDA, the Saudi FDA and the UAE regulatory authorities to expand ANKTIVA, it's possible that they're referring to a number of different treatments in their pipeline. It could be the colorectal Lynch syndrome, glioblastoma, and ovarian cancer. These are the trials that regulators in Saudi Arabia and UAE might consider for label expansion discussions. It's important to note that they're all in relatively early stages in their development pipeline, which means more clinical data and regulatory review is needed before they can go to market. Nonetheless, the fact that ImmunityBio have initiated discussions with the Saudi FDA and UAE to expand the ANKTIVA indications shows huge potential to reach potentially tens of thousands of new patients across the Middle East, and this could translate to hundreds of millions of dollars in annual revenue at peak adoption. And so back to this announcement that ImmunityBio partners with Biopharma and Sagala Healthcare to launch ANKTIVA in Saudi Arabia. The critical thing to note is that this partnership with Biopharma and Sagala, 2 of the largest and most respected healthcare commercial and distribution companies in the Middle East, will begin with the launch of ANKTIVA in Saudi Arabia and over time across the broader MENA region. So MENA stands for the Middle East and North African region. And this partnership could help accelerate the access to ANKTIVA throughout the region, including nations not only Saudi Arabia but also the United Arab Emirates, Qatar and Egypt. And so like I said in a previous video, things move much faster in Saudi Arabia compared to the US. The Saudi royal family control legislation, executive decisions and major policy directions, which mean there's far less red tape and things move far faster, as we've seen with the progress ImmunityBio have done so far. It means once the government approves a therapy, it can be rapidly adopted across the country, rather than being gradually rolled out hospital by hospital. And so in short, ImmunityBio now have 2 Saudi approvals. They have government aligned, which means faster commercialization and adoption of their new products for bladder cancer and for lung cancer, which will in turn lead to further revenue potential for ImmunityBio into 2026 and 2027, and possible further upside on this stock over the long term as they focus on entering new markets, not just Saudi Arabia but the rest of the Middle East as mentioned. They've initiated these discussions with the Saudi FDA and UAE authorities to expand ANKTIVA indications beyond lung and bladder cancer, and there are huge possibilities with this, as I mentioned, by going through the previous indications in their pipeline, which is why we've seen analysts place a price target on this stock at $11.80 and with a high of $24, which we can see in the right hand side of your screen right here.